Hi everybody, welcome to Scotch Kitchen. Happy anniversary to us. Let me just put on my apron. I hope you guys have been having a great week. My week has been really good, but a bit busy as usual. Busy. But as we are celebrating our year's anniversary, so today I'm going to do a live lovely video. It's been long since I actually did a video. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm trying to tie the apron. Yeah, I hope you guys have been having a lovely week. My week has been really been amazing. Very busy, but I thank God. So as you guys know, we've been 1 year in Scotch Kitchen, and we are really approaching our 2,000 goal. We are at 1,700, which is really great. Thanks to you guys. I'm allowed to touch my hair. I've not washed my hands yet. I'll wash my hands in a bit. Let's just have a quick chat. So it's been a year since we started. Thanks to you, we are getting better at it, and we're not relying on a lot of things that we used to rely when we started. So that is the amazing thing about everything. We are learning a lot from each other, and we are sharing lots of ideas with each other's too. I'm washing my hands because I'm actually preparing some corn mahindi boil. Corn, how can I call it? Corn, boiled corn. That's what I can say. And that's what I'm preparing here, so that the guys, my boys, can have that. They love that. So you have just corn, boiled, mahindi boiled, or corn that is just, you put in water and a little bit of salt, which I didn't do. I'm going to add a little bit of salt there. And then when it's ready, you just put in some butter on it, and you have it with a cup of tea, or you can just have it the way it is. I'll show you how I normally have mine when they are actually ready. It doesn't take long at all to actually cook. So that said, let me add some salt there, and then I'll show you guys what I have here, what we are cooking today, because we are cooking, we're roasting a whole chicken, and that takes a little bit of time. So we're going to start with that, and then we can do the rest of the things. So by the time the chicken is actually done, at least we are somewhere. It's going to be a long video, just warn you in advance. I'm already warming up my oven. Pardon me, I'm already warming up my oven at 220 degrees because we're going to need the oven warm. Remember, I told you guys about that. Always warm up your oven before you actually use it, because we are doing the chicken in the oven. We need it nice and warm, so that when we put the chicken there at 200 degrees, it's ready to go. So the chicken is actually going to cook as the way we want it, right? So let's get on with it quickly, because this is dinner. I've tried today to start it a little bit earlier, and the main reason why I'm starting it earlier is because, again, I'm doing that chicken, and it's a roast dinner, so it's going to take long. So it's normally better to plan yourself so that you can actually cook it way in advance. So I've added some salt into my lovely corn. Yeah. Okay, let's see what we have, and then we can get on with it. So at the farthest end, I'm going to start this end while I go across. I've put lots of stuff here, but don't worry about it. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to go along and tell you what I have as I go. So I have some English spicy sausages, as you can see. I got these from our local butchers. And you can definitely use any type of sausages. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this. Hi, Dania. How are you, my lovely? Thank you for joining. Hi, Linda. Seen you, Linda. Thank you for joining, my lovely. I'm still charging my other phone, so that's why I'll have to keep on there and scroll up there to be able to welcome you guys. But definitely welcome, and thank you for joining. If I don't recognize you yet, don't worry about it. I'm going to try at the end of the video, and I'm just going to thank everybody that can be able to see. Okay, let's get on with it. So I have a whole chicken here. I have a whole chicken, as you can see. Yeah. I'm going to explain to you what you need to do with the chicken. Now, let's just go through what we have. I've got a tin of anchovies. Anchovies is just a type of fish. It's almost just like omena, but this is a bit different. It has a very tangy, very not sweet, it's bitter. It's really bitter than omena, but it actually puts a lot of flavor onto our chicken. You'll see what I'm going to do with that as well. So I've got some anchovies here, and then I have some bacon. Then I can't wait to eat with my eyes. Yeah, it's gonna be really amazing. That's a massive chicken. It is. That's why we need to put it in the oven so that we can get over with it. Then I have some tomato puree. I have some tomato puree here, and then I've bought this, but you can just go ahead and actually make this at home if you want to. I've got some butter chicken sauce, and all that is there, you can use all or any spices you have at home. Don't forget the bay, paprika. So you can use chicken masala, paprika, you can use tandoori, you can use black pepper, white pepper, any spice you have. And then you need some butter, yes, the normal butter, and you mix that together. And you can use some onion, garlic, and ginger together with that as well. Either blend it together or you can just pound it together and make that type of sauce. Today I'm being lazy, so that's why I'm using this, which is okay. Once in a while, won't kill. Okay, then I'm gonna make a quick stir fry as well. And in this lovely green, it's not green, lovely bowl, or it's just a plastic thing, I have mixed pepper, and then I have mixed cherry tomatoes as well. So I'm going to use that for my stir fry. I have some mushrooms as well, so we're going to have our mushrooms on our stir fry, and there you go, mixed up of mushrooms. I'm not going to cut this, it's just going to go whole because of the sizes of the mushrooms. And then I have some peas here, some French peas. As you can see, I'm going to show you how to do it. So I'm going to cut the tops and the bottom, and then all we're going to be left is the middle bit. Then I have broccoli. So I have a stalk of broccoli here, as you can see, and there you go, that's our stalk of broccoli. And then I have some onions. How do you call them? Yeah, they're just onions, isn't it? Spring onions, that's what they call them. So I have the spring onions, and then on my lovely plate here, I've used half of my paper, so I have another half. So I have 3 of that. So I have red, yellow, and green pepper. Have some lemon, that's going to be used to prepare the chicken. The carrots, so I have 2 carrots, that's also going to be used in the stir fry. The 2 onions going to be used in the chicken, and that is going to be part of the stir fry as well. And then lastly, I have some cheese. I know you're wondering, what am I going to use the cheese of? And we've talked about everything. Remember our chicken, we need to have something with our chicken. So I'm cooking some potatoes, which I've already prepared manually. Okay, what I've done, I've just taken potatoes and I've cut them in slices. As you can see here, I've cut them. I'm just trying to get a small one. I've cut them in slices, so that's what you need. Get potatoes, cut them in slices. Don't cook them, because this I'm going to use some butter. Forgot to bring my cream. I'm going to get a little bit of cream is going to go there, and a little bit of spices, which is going to be just paprika, or you can use your mixed green spices. Mixed green spices are like, one second guys, I'll show you that. You can use your mint. So I'll use mint, and I'll use some rosemary as well, right? And that's going to go on the potatoes. You don't really have to, but if you want to have a bit of spice there, you can use that, because anyway, we are already having a lot of spices going on, so we don't really need too much spice, but that's okay. Okay, today I'm going to use some red wine vinegar. So that's like my red wine vinegar. So I'm gonna use that in my cooking today. I have some chili infused, or olive oil infused with chili. I'm going to use that. And I also have here just olive oil, and it is infused with some basil. So those are the oils that I'm going to use so far. If in case I add anything else as I am cooking, I'm going to let you guys know. But for now, 2 more minutes and my maize is going to be done. For now, I'm going to move some of this stuff at the corner, and then all we're going to have here is, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to transfer my sausages in a baking tray. And what I'm going to do, which I've not done, if you bear with me 1 second, I need to cut these ones. So you always have to remember, when you're doing your sausages, you have to cut them. I'm not gonna do this first. I'm going to go ahead and do the chicken first. So if you just bear with me, I'll put that there. And that's where I'm going to use to cook my chicken. So that's going to go at the end. And what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to push most of this stuff at that corner so that we can have more space. We can have more space for preparing our chicken, because vegetable doesn't really take long to actually prepare, and you want it nice and crispy. Okay, don't need my bacon and I don't need my sausage. Okay, so we have our chicken, our lovely whole chicken, there to go. Just bear with me 1 second. Let me just do one thing. I need to put this one up here so that I can be able to welcome guys when they're coming. So it can be much easier for me rather than squinting my eyes there or coming really close to the camera. You guys seeing my big forehead. It's not that really fancy, isn't it? Okay, so. Okay, it's not kicked in here, but not a problem. Let's just get on with it anyway. Okay, oh, didn't show you. At the moment, I'm having a cup of tea. Here's my cup of tea, but as we continue cooking, I got this. It's a cocktail on ice. It's pomegranate cocktail, as you can see. I got it in the shop, so I'm going to have a bit of this while we are cooking, yeah, to make the cooking even taste better. You know, when the chef is happy, the food cooks even better. So I'm just gonna move some of this on here because I don't really need them now. I will need them in a bit, but not now. But we need more space. My kitchen is not that big, but we're gonna make it happen because that's what we do in Scotch Kitchen, isn't it? Okay. Okay. So next, we need our onions. I'm gonna cut my onions really quick. And then I'm going to show you, it's going to be really, really nice and simple, guys. This is really, really nice and simple. You should be able to do this anytime you want. Should have put nice clothes already. Okay. So, let me go ahead. So, I have my 2 onions, as you can see here. And that's what I'm going to do. Javi can't wait to see it. Oh, yeah, it's going to be really, really amazing. Alice, thank you, my lovely, for joining. Happy, definitely, thank you, my lovely bro, for joining. That's my little brother, but I don't say. Thank you, my lovely, for joining. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just peel off your, how do you call this again? Red onions. You need 2 of that. Peel them off, and you just need a chunk of it. You don't need anything fancy or anything. On your oven tray, get your olive oil. Yes, we're using olive oil today. I'm just using, my olive oil that I'm using today is infused with basil. If you don't have that is infused with basil, don't worry about it. Just use your normal olive oil. If you don't have any olive oil, just go ahead and use any oil. But you need to be sure you have to use a very minimal amount. I've never tried this recipe with any other. The main reason why I'm telling you that, it's the butter chicken that you would have prepared. You will have used a lot of butter there, so you don't want your food, and chicken is already really oily because we are cooking it with its skin, so you don't want it to be really oily. You just want it not to be oily but moist. That's what we are trying to achieve, moist, not oily. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of my olive oil infused with basil. Yeah, I know you've seen me changing the thing because this has still had some olive oil here left, and this is still full. So before you open up another one, you need to use whatever you have, isn't it? So you need about 1.5 tablespoon, not teaspoon, guys, tablespoon. Show you a tablespoon. So there you go. So you need 1.5 tablespoon. That's really bright there. 1.5 tablespoons. That's what you need for your olive oil, and that's what I've used. So that goes in the bin. Okay. So all we are doing, we're sprinkling that here, and you're going to see what I'm going to do with my onion after that. Okay. My lovely boiled corn ready. Just gonna use my colander to actually drain that off completely, and then I can call the boys to come and have some. Okay, that's on the side. Let that cool down a little bit, and then when our chicken is in the oven, we can concentrate on that. So we have our onion, the first onion. You need to cut that in half, And then you need big chunks, and I mean big chunks. So this is not a fancy one. This is just chunks of onions we need. So it's really, really massive chunks, as you can see. That's the chunks you need. So you need really, really big chunks. And what you need to do on your oven pan, you need to peel them off, because normally onions have a few layers. So you want to peel your big chunks off and just lay them on your oven tray. Nothing fancy. That's why I'm saying this is going to be such a simple recipe that anybody should be able to do at your own pace, at home, without no fuss, no stress at all. So, come on onions, stop sticking to each other. Okay, so we go do that again. Remember, we need 2, so that's just the first onion. So we need a second one as well, and we need to do the same thing. So the onion basically is going to give our chicken a little bit of flavor. And that's what we need. So you need a little bit of flavor from the onions. You can use the onions that are going to be here if you wish to, but it's not really a must. It's not onions that we're only going to use. We're going to use the pepper. Remember the pepper that I showed you, the half yellow, red, and green pepper. We're going to use that as well, and we're going to make sure they're as chunky as possible as well. So let's do our onion first, and then we go ahead and start preparing our paper, right? So that should be okay. Again, into halves, and then we go big chunks. Nice and easy, no fuss at all. There you go. I'm not going to mix that yet. I'm going to do that in a bit, but not yet. And you need to do that with the next one as well. Be careful when you're doing that. You don't want to chop off your fingers. Okay, so I'm going to do exactly that to all my pepper. So I need green, red, and yellow. If you get those 3, that's amazing. I need some lemons. I'm going to use half a lemon here as well. And my lemon is there, it's ready. With this recipe, you do not need the seeds. Make sure you get rid of that stalk. Yeah, we don't need the seeds today. We just need our paper without any seeds whatsoever. So get rid of that chunky seed thing in the middle. So that's what I'm talking about. We don't need that. Normally I cook them with the seeds if you always are very keen. I always don't remove the seed, but with this recipe I don't need the seeds. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut them off. And then what I need to do next is cut them out in chunks as well. Nothing fancy. Again, be very careful when you're doing this, guys, yeah? The pepper is going to shrink, so you can cut them along. Like this yellow one is really, really massive, so I'm going to just go and cut them into. There's no shape or size that you need to cut your peppers in. You can just, as long as they're nice and big chunks, that's all we need. I'm losing some of them on here already. That's not good. And you need half of each, right? Okay, so put that in the oven tray as well, right? That's all vegetables done. Just getting rid of this so I can have a bit of space here. I hope you guys, actually the camera is set up in a position that you guys can definitely see that. Move that closer. So that's all we have so far. So we have paper, we have 1.5 tablespoon of olive oil infused with basil. So if you want to use basil, that's okay. And need to just mix that up. Yeah, we're using our hands. There's nothing fancy here. For your papers, the ones that are really big and chunky, you can split them into 2 if you want to. That's okay. So the next thing, wash my hands really quick. Whoops. Okay. So the next thing, the main reason why I was washing my hands, you will see, need to open that tin, and I can't open it if my hands are really greasy. Yeah, this is my way of opening a tin. I normally hit the black bit of the tin on the side of your kitchen. Don't hit the glass bit, you need the black bit, and it actually helps with the opening. Otherwise you'll be there like a few hours trying to struggle with it for that thing to open, and it actually is not opening. Okay, so you remember you've prepared your spices. So this is going to be like that messy time where nobody wants to actually touch anything. I'm putting my sleeves up because this is the bit that's going to go really nice and messy. Okay, so you need your spices. So the spices you've used, you just pour some there on your vegetables, right? And we're going to mix that together. Mix that. Actually, it's the smell that's coming out of here is amazing. Mix that together thoroughly. So all your vegetables are going to be like really nicely mixed together. They're going to mix together. I'm saying hi to somebody on another call. So I've not lost it yet, guys. I'm not lost it. I'm not just waving. Okay, so the interesting part now, yeah? Cleaning at the same time as well. So this is the interesting part. Remember, you got your whole chicken, right? You need to cut your chicken into, open it, so you turn the chicken that way and you cut it that way. So it's really wide, right? You can see that it looks like it's flying away. Poor chicken. It looks like it's flying away. And that's what you need. So what we're going to do, we're going to place, you will need to place your chicken that way, so that because the legs are the bit that takes a little bit longer to cook, because they are the most fatty ones. So what we're going to do, you need to place your chicken, we'll turn it in a bit. You need to place your chicken between your vegetables. So your vegetables are all supposed to be nicely placed on the side, and then we're going to go messy again, and we're going to get our spices, mix that together on this one side, turn the chicken on the other side, spice it up some more, and then this is going to be ready to go in the oven, right? So let's do that, and then, before it's ready to go in the oven, that's when I'm going to use my anchovies as well, because I know you guys were wondering when time is she going to use her anchovies. I'm going to use my anchovies as well. I'm going to cook this chicken for 40 minutes first, and then I'm going to remove it, and then that's where my bacon is going to actually go in there. Yes, we're going to use some of that bacon on the chicken. So at the moment, this is what we have. So I've just got my chicken and I've just poured the spice there, and I'm going to go in it and actually properly mix that together. I'm late. What's that for mixing with onions and pepper? I'm using butter chicken. Yeah, and as I explained at the beginning of the video, you can make your own butter chicken, and what you need to make your own butter chicken is any chicken spices you have, and don't forget your paprika. I always love paprika. You're going to see me sprinkling a bit of paprika here, and you need to mix all that spice, so you need to blend them together. You'll need some garlic, ginger, and some onion. Blend that together. After you blend that together, you need butter, so you have to cook it before, yeah? So you cook it, you put butter, and then you put your garlic, ginger, and onions. Then it depends what chicken spices you have at home. If you don't have any chicken spices, just use paprika, and because you already have their garlic and ginger, so that should be okay. Cook that together, put it aside, and let it rest until it is cold, because you don't want that spice really hot when you're actually mixing it together. It's going to be a little bit difficult for you to actually touch it. And then all you do, mix that with your onions, mixed pepper, and then you get your chicken, add some more of that spices on your chicken as well. So as you can see, I'm actually talking and rubbing this together. We're multitasking, yeah? So make sure your chicken is completely flat on here. I'm going to lift that up for you guys to be able to see. I'm going to use my anchovies in a second as well. I just need to wash my hands. It's a bit messy. I'm gonna use my anchovies first, and then I'll be able to lift this up for you guys to see, because I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of our bay paprika, never miss it on the in the kitchen. We're going to use that as well there, and then I'm going to lift it up for you guys to be able to see. Just bear with me 1 second. Okay, this is the bit that I don't really fancy so much, but I have to do it. It's opening the tin. Okay, so this is my anchovy. I'm gonna show you what the anchovies are. Okay, I'll just leave it there. I don't like this part of opening I don't like opening these kinds of tins because I'm never lucky with them. They always cut me. So I'm just going to open half of it. These anchovies are actually stored in this tin with some olive oil. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pour that olive oil here, because I want to show you guys the anchovies. You don't have to put anchovies on this recipe, but it is a good idea because the taste is amazing. Oh, come on, anchovies. Ooh. So these are the anchovies. I'm trying to just get it closer for you to be able to see. They are just they are baby fish, sort of, and I'm just going to put them randomly along with my vegetables. You don't have to use the whole tin, but I'm going to go ahead and use the whole tin anyway. And the main reason, I know you're wondering, why am I using the anchovies? The anchovies are going to just add a little bit of flavor in my chicken. It's going to be a little bit of bitter sour. If you can't get anchovies, you can actually use, how do you call them? Sardines. You can use sardines, that's okay. You can't use salmon. Salmon is not, it's not that, it doesn't have that bitter effect that's actually what we are trying to get here. So you don't have to use salmon. So it's either sardines or anchovies, but anchovies is 100% rather than sardines. So as I started doing this, I told you guys that the thighs of the chicken normally take longer to cook compared to all the others. So what you need to do, get your knife. You see, that's the drumstick. And I'm just going to make I'm going to cut it and just make sure it actually cooks inside there. So just go along. Yeah, this recipe is a bit really messy, but that's okay. The result is going to be amazing. So, smack those ridges on your chicken. We're gonna use all these spices. Who are we leaving it for? Nobody. So I'm gonna use the whole spices and back on my legs and give them a lovely massage. Give your chicken so much love with these spices, and the rest of the spices should just go on the vegetables that you've already put there. So, before I actually lift this up to you guys, for you guys to be able to actually see it, I am going to go ahead and sprinkle my paprika, and then I'll lift it for you guys to see, and then it's going to go in the oven. And remember, you need to cook this at 200 degrees for 40 minutes, and then we're going to put in our bacon. So this is the bacon that is going to go in after 40 minutes, yeah? Going to show you guys that in a second. So let's go on. Get our paprika. And that is what we have so far. It looks amazing even before we put it in the oven. And here we go. I'm going to sprinkle. You just need to go wild with your paprika and sprinkle that all over your chicken. Yeah. I am not going to mix this. I just want this to form a lovely layer of the paprika. So that should be enough. So you need about 2 to 3 tablespoons of paprika, as you can see. So what we have here, if we have our chicken in a chicken batter sauce, and then we have our onions, we have our mixed peppers, which is red, green, and yellow, and we're going to put this, and also we have some anchovies here. And now we're going to, I'm just going to lift that up again a little bit so that you can actually see my face. So we're going to cook this in the oven at 200 degrees. It's supposed to be for 50 minutes to an hour, but when we get to 40 minutes, we're going to go and remove it and deal with our bacon there, because we need that juice to go there as well. Okay, there you go, ready to go. So our chicken is in, cooking, amazing. Gonna get rid of this stuff out of the way. I'm just cleaning up this so that we can do our next amazing stuff, which is going to be, you know what we didn't use? We didn't use our onion. No, we're not gonna use it now. We're definitely going to use it when we are actually putting our bacon. Whoop, that light is so much there. As you can see, that's my bacon. And we're going to use that in a minute. In 40 minutes time, that's when we're going to use our bacon, yeah? Give me 1 second, guys. Corn is ready. So I've prepared some corn. I've prepared some corn, guys. Say hello to people, Tyler. Get some butter from the fridge. So this is what I normally do. It's a bit funny. It's so funny if you repeat what I'm saying. Be careful. Okay, go and close the fridge. Thank you. Sasa. That's Tyler saying loads of sassas. Remember, I prepared some corn. Ooh. Tyler, you need to turn off that for a second. Sorry, guys. That's Tyler lifting a broccoli. Okay, so that's our corn. I'm trying to figure out where the best place to put my corn because the light is really too much. So there is my corn, and with my corn, I'm going to add some butter. I've already added salt. The boys really like it. So all I'm going to do is put the butter on the corn. I'm gonna use a brush to make it easier for me and faster. Butter, and I'm going to butter this. If you go to Kentucky Chicken Fries, you'll find the same corn as the corn that's in Scotch Kitchen, and it's going to be really expensive. And this is all they do: boil it in water with a little bit of salt, and they put in some butter. Voila, that's it. That's all they do. So give me a smaller plate, Tony. I put for you guys. Give me a plate. I know what you're doing. Tony is learning sign language, so he just believes I understand sign language. So these days, all he's using is sign language. So hopefully, I'll be able to understand his sign language. Say hi to everybody. Okay, just say what that means.
Hello, my name is Tonio.
He's saying, hello, my name is Tonio. Can you tell people what you're actually doing? Because you're confusing everybody.
Hello. And then that's hello. My name is. And then I spell out my name.
You're talking to them, not me. Me already explained to me that. Okay, so Tonio is saying in sign language, hello, my name is Tonio. That's what he's just done. Don't ask me to do it because my name is too long. It's not easily spelled. You can spell it, but it's going to be a really nice, long conversation that we're going to have here while spelling it. Okay, so I'm just adding some butter onto my corn. Normally for the boys, I don't put chili powder, but because I love chili, I'm going to show you guys what I do after this. So as you can see, I'm just applying a little bit of butter on the corn. And the good thing about doing this as well, your corn doesn't get really dry. So it's going to be really nice and moist. And this is the mother of them all that I've not cut. Yeah, so just apply butter. This is not part of dinner. I cook for boys, so this is a snack before actually we have dinner. Something to keep them all busy while they're actually waiting for dinner. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys with this what I normally do. So I have my chili powder, chili spice. Ooh! There you go. That's my chili spice. And all I do is sprinkle some chili on here. It actually looks really amazing. This needs a picture. This definitely needs a picture. I am really wild with chili, so I go really super wild with it. Don't need any more butter yet. I'm gonna put that aside. The corner space is getting full, and there you go. That's what I do. I normally just put some chili on my corn, as you can see. Looks funny there. There you go. There's my chili on my corn, and have it with a cup of tea. Thank me later if you love chili. If you don't love chili, the butter is enough. Have it with the butter and thank me later. Okay, this is aside, and then let's go on and do our stir fry. Tonio,
Yes, ma'am.
please come and get your corn. Share with everybody.
Really? I have to.
It's up to you, but I think it's advisable to share, isn't it? He's asking me if he has to share with everybody. Okay, guys, so we have done our corn check. We've done our corn, that's check. So we have our stir fry. Before we go ahead and do our stir fry, let's do our potatoes. So here we have our potatoes. I showed you guys. So you just need, I'm trying to get the light off. Yeah, there you go. So those are our potatoes. So you just need to get your normal potatoes, cut them in small slices, like round shapes, like that. So there you go. Cut them in round shapes. Put them in an oven tray or an oven bowl. If you have a bowl or tray, it will still do the same effect. Let me put the chili away because I don't want anybody to put it in their stuff. Put them in a bowl. Sprinkle a little bit of salt. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of salt. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of paprika. And I am going to use some rosemary. Right? Rosemary leaves. Mint leaves. Then I am going to use I'm using a single fresh cream, as you can see there, single fresh cream. So that's what I'm using for my potatoes. I am also going to use we need a little bit of oil there. I'm going to use some sesame seed oil. You don't have to use sesame seed oil. You can use any oil you already have at home. That is okay. This is one way of actually doing this. Another way of doing this, you will need, pardon me, another thing I forgot we need to use is our onions. The onions are going to go there as well. Another way of actually preparing this, you will need one of these metal oven trays, and on it you need to cut some onions and put a little bit of your oil that you're going to use and your spices. Turn the hob on, cook the spices on your tray. Then when all your spices are ready to go, you put your potatoes in there. You can either lay them the way you want to, or you can just go ahead and chuck them in. Mix them up thoroughly with the spices when they're still on the hob. Add a little bit of water and your cream. So your single or double cream, doesn't matter, any can do. Mix that together and then get some foil paper, cover that up and just let it cook for 5 to 10 minutes. After they've cooked for 5 to 10 minutes, that's when you transfer them in the oven. That's another way of doing the same recipe I'm going to do now. I'm not going to do the fast way, so this is actually the easiest way, because when you cut your potatoes these small sizes, they cook really quick. So this should take at least half an hour to 40 minutes to actually cook. So that's why I prefer this option. And before I forget, which I'd already forgotten, we need to set up our timer for our chicken. Remember, we are cooking it in there for 40 minutes, and then after the 40 minutes, that's when we are going to put in our bacon and our little, how do you call it, our lemon. So, we need 40 minutes, so that's going to be 18, 20, oops. Time is really going really fast. Okay, so anyway, when you're cooking your chicken, just make sure you keep on checking on the chicken as it's cooking. Guys who are joining, thank you, my lovely, for joining. I'm happy with that. I'm sorry I can't recognize all of you, because that means I'll have to go in front of the camera and keep on scrolling down, because my other device that I'm using, I've not started using it yet, but I'll try and see as we go on if I can go there, because we have enough time today, and I can thank you guys. So don't worry about it if I'm not saying anything when you're coming in, but just know I know you're there, and thank you very much for joining us. Let's go back to our potatoes. So you've cut your potatoes, they are ready to go there. Get your knife, and we need to cut our onions. So as we have cut our potatoes in a round shape, you need to do exactly the same to your onions. So I'm using one white onion. You don't have to use white onion, you can use any onion you have, it will still do the same job. I'm using white onion because I just like the blending of the onion, the color blending that's going to happen between the onions and our potatoes. So I'm gonna cut them. You need to cut them very tiny slices. So just go around as much as you can. Be careful. It's not really my fancy shape to cut. If you have a food processor, this process is going to take you a second to actually do, because with the food processor, they're able to chop your onions any shape you want. So if you have a food processor, go ahead and use it, my lovely. Don't struggle with your knife and yet you have a food processor. Okay, sprinkle your onions around and just make sure you single them out as much as you can. Yeah, there you go. Do that. Just one onion is enough. It's not an onion feast, it's actually a potato feast. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, let's go ahead and add our spices here, and then I'm going to do a little bit of mixing. So I'm going to start with my mint. Just need a little bit of that. So I'm going to sprinkle. You need about 1 teaspoon, or 1 teaspoon. And there we go. That's our 1 teaspoon. So you need 1 teaspoon of mint, 1 teaspoon of your rosemary. Yeah, so many people normally ask me, how do I know it's a teaspoon, and yet I'm just sprinkling. I know it's a teaspoon. Don't assume when you're doing that. Make sure you use your teaspoon. And there you go, our teaspoon. I've shown you how a teaspoon looks like, so just make sure you use your teaspoon to do that. If you sprinkle the way I'm sprinkling, you might go ahead and use more than what you actually need to use. So let's just stick to our teaspoon, right? Okay, I'm going to use my paprika as well, and that's my paprika, the bay, the master chef that I always use in my kitchen, never misses my kitchen. And you need you can say 1 tablespoon of paprika, and I'm using sesame oil, and I need 1.5 tablespoon of oil. So whatever oil you're using, sprinkle that up. If you have your salt, you can use salt and pepper if you want to, or just use some salt. Again, it depends how you want your salt, the taste on your salt. So just go wild, or just don't put any salt whatsoever, because mostly when you're using spices, it's already salty, so you don't really need any salt. Then we need our cream. So you need about, this is 300 ml. We are going to use about 150, but I'm going to go with 50 first. Gonna do the mix. This is also going to be really, really, I have to use my hand, so because I have to mix this up. So you definitely need to use your hand if you want to. If you fancy using a fork, I don't think you're going to you get the same effect. But you realize by now, I love using my hands so much. These bays are coming back in here. They're not going anywhere today. My surface is clean. Okay? So remember, I got some cheese. Yes, that is when my cheese is actually going to be used here. Sprinkling that. I've mixed that up properly. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of paprika, and then I go again with my cream, and we're going to use a little bit of the cheese. So I'm gonna sprinkle the cheese as well. So remember, we had put 50 ml, and now we go with our 100, and we are actually done. So I had about 150, and that's what I've used there. We are done with our cream, so that's going in the bin. Amazing. Get your cheese. I am using mature cheddar, full strength cheese with extra flavor. I don't know what the extra flavor is, don't ask me. I don't know that yet. I just know it's mature cheddar cheese, and it is very, very strong to taste as well. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of that on my potatoes. Yes, you definitely need cheese in this recipe. If you don't want to use cheese, you can just go ahead and that will go straight in the oven, but it's not going to come out, or it's not going to give you the same effect, because this recipe needs cheese. Yeah, so you have to remember that. But you're still going to make your lovely potatoes from baked potatoes, but they're just going to be baked potatoes with cream. Yeah. Okay, so bear with me 1 second so I can open this fully and be able to grate it. Okay, let me get my grater. Here we go. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to grate some cheese on here. I'm going to grate some more, but before I grate some more, I'm going to add a little bit of my paprika there. You're going to see all these, guys. I'm just going to bring it closer on the camera for you guys to be able to actually see. The main reason I always love using paprika, paprika adds a lovely flavor onto your meals. That's why. And again, I always say, everybody who loves their kitchen, they will always have that one spice that they believe in. They'll always be using that one spice in any meal they want to. For me, it is paprika, and it's never failed me. That's why I love using it. I love using it when I am before I serve my meal. I love using it on my food before I actually cook it. After cooking it, it works for me either way. I've not tried it on my cup of tea yet because I've never used that there. But again, if you love that one spice, why not? Make use of that one spice as much as you love, or as much as you want, because again, that is your kitchen. You're the boss of your kitchen. You can do as much as you want in your kitchen. So don't be shy with that one spice you love. Just make sure you own it. That's all I do, and that's why I love my paprika. So most of the time you'll always hear me talking about my paprika. It's because that's my spice. That's the best spice I love using in my kitchen. Okay, I'm collecting some of my onions that are spreading all over. And so this is what we've achieved so far before we actually put it in the oven. I'm just trying to move away from that light. I have my light here. It's really, really bright, as you can see. And ooh, there you go. As you can see, 1 second, guys. 1 second, guys. Remember, I'm the also photographer, yeah? So let's make this work. Okay. There you go. Much better. Less light, more light. There you go, guys. As you can see, I've sprinkled my chili. So what we have here, we have our single cream, we have our paprika, we have mint, we have onion, and we have our rosemary. So this is now going to the oven, the same oven where I'm cooking my chicken. So you're cooking it at 200 degrees. You need it in there between 30 to 40 minutes. All I can say is just make sure it is well done. Even though I'm telling you 30 to 40 minutes, 1 hour, as long as you keep on checking on your meals when you're cooking them, you will be able to determine that temperature. But the basic temperature that I've always been using so far for these two meals is 30 to 40 minutes, and it actually cooks. So let's go ahead and put our lovely potatoes in the oven. Whoa. Yep, I've just put it under the chicken. So that's cooking there. Amazing. Okay, Okay, so now to the other interesting part. Let's do our stir fry. Yeah, I know you're wondering when are we going to have our sausages. Our sausages are going to go in there. They don't take long to cook. So what I'm going to do now with my sausages, I'm going to prepare them. I'll just put them on the side, ready to go. Oven tray or oven, yes, it's an oven tray. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of olive oil. My olive oil here is infused with a bit of basil. So you need about, again, 2 teaspoons of olive oil there. And I am going to put in my sausages in here. So this is not really mandatory. The main reason why I'm having these sausages is the boys love sausage. So they can have sausages anytime they wish to. So that's why I'm preparing these sausages. So that's why it doesn't really matter what time I'm going to put them in the oven. But as long as there's going to be sausage around, that's okay. So again, this is not part of the meal, but if you wish it to be, yes, it can be part of the meal. So that's what I'm going to do with my, and I'm just mixing it, by the way. That's why I'm shaking that together. So it's going to mix together with my olive oil, right? And somehow they've all found a place in there, nice and lovely. As you can see, it's there, nice and lovely. And I'm going to put that in an oven in a little bit. So meanwhile, I'm just leaving it there to rest. Let's move our, just reducing some stuff here because we've used all this. We don't need them anymore. So, the next thing now we're going to prepare is our stir fry, which consists of, hi Anthony, thank you for following. Hi my dear, thank you my lovely for following. You know what, you guys, let me do this first, yeah, before we do our stir fry, because I can't see much there. My 2020 vision is actually leaving me. That's what I say, but it isn't actually leaving me. But okay, so this is much better. Ooh. Oh. Yeah. I think. Oh, for God's sake! Come on. I know what's happening. It's because I am connected to my Wi-Fi and my phone is connected to my Wi-Fi already. So it's actually trying to tell me you're already connected. Why are you trying to connect again? So I've gone ahead and turned that off, and hopefully it's going to actually kick in and it's going to actually work for me to be able to. Oh, come on. Okay, it's not working. That's not really important. We can deal with that later. At the moment, we have better things to deal with, which is our cooking. So let's get on with it, yeah? So, that's good. I was just checking the time. So for our stir fry, I'm going to prepare some mushrooms. As you can see here, my lovely mushrooms. I'm just trying to get over. It's long since we did the video, so we're still trying to make sure that we understand where the light is, yeah? So I've got some mushrooms here, and then, oh, I love this. So I have my mixed cherry tomatoes. I have the red ones, I have the orange, yellowish ones, mix them, gather them. I have my peppers. So these are the small baby peppers. You have to be very careful when you're picking these peppers. You're not picking chili, you're actually picking peppers. So I have my orange one, I have yellow, and I have red. So this is going to go on our stir fry. It's going to be Then we have our French peas here. So this is also going to go on our stir fry. We have 2 carrots. They're really humongous, but this is good. And we have our broccoli. Not many people actually like broccoli, but we actually like broccoli here, so we are going to have this as our vegetable. So that's the stir fry that we're going to prepare. So first things first, I'll start preparing our vegetables, just making sure everything is ready to go, and then I'm going to go ahead and start actually cooking it so that you guys can be able to learn how to do this stir fry I'm preparing today. Okay, so just going to get my knife, and I am going to get my broccoli, and that's all I'm doing. So my broccoli have these stems. I don't want this big stem here, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just cutting them off from there. You can get the broccoli that they've actually done this process for you, but again, that's your choice. I like to do it myself, so that's why when I'm getting my broccoli, I get my broccoli still on its stem. Don't need that, so that's going in the bin. And what I'm going to do next is, again, try and divide these ones, because I don't want them in really big chunks. Yeah, those chunks should actually be okay. There you go. Okay, yeah, hope you guys are actually seeing this process. Then I'm going to get my coriander, or how do you call it, the massive CV thingy, this one, and I am going to put my broccoli in there, because these are going to be washed in a bit. Yeah, so we've done with our broccoli. Let me just clean this quick. Clean it, splash it off. Then I am going to go with my carrots. I'm just getting my peeler. I'm going to peel that if I can find it. Oh, where are you? Okay, I have to use this one even though I don't like using this. Yeah, found what I was looking for. Okay, that's just a peeler. You can use it to peel potatoes. Normally, mostly people are used to this type of peeler. I hate that. So I managed getting this one, which is just like one strip, and I'm going to use that to peel off my potatoes. Yeah, most of the time you see me cooking my potatoes without peeling them, but today I'm gonna peel them because I want them peeled. Right? So peel the potatoes. Oh, these are not potatoes, guys. It's carrots. Come on. Peel your carrots. You only need 2 for this lovely, lovely, delicious stuff, right? And we're going to cut them in lovely strips as well, because that's what we need. And you don't really need to cook these ones for very long, right? So we're going to check on our chicken in a second to just make sure it's actually cooking, not that it's just there bubbling away. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna cut off the top bit of this carrot because I don't need that, and the bottom, right? We don't need that, so all you left is like 2 humongous carrots, and we're going to go ahead and chop them. Doesn't matter what sizes you want, as long as you chop them. They just have to be edible. That's what we're trying to achieve here. Be careful with whatever knife you're using, because if it's a sharp knife, you can end up chopping your lovely fingers, and that's what you don't want to happen. Right? I'm cutting them in round shapes because it's easier and faster for me. But it doesn't matter what shape you want to cut. Go ahead and cut them in any shape you want. Right? Our carrots done. Yeah? Hope you're able to see that. They're really nice and lovely, and they taste amazing. Mushrooms, we're not cutting them. They're going to go like that. We have here our spring onions. And all I've done is just cut the top bit and the bottom bit a little, and that's all I have. And I am going to do exactly the same with them. I'm gonna cut them in like round shape, doesn't matter, but just make sure they're not really too small. You just want them in chunks as well. And this is going to go straight. No, it's not going to go straight there. I'm just going to make sure that you guys are able to see this. So, I wanted to cut them straight. I'm not going to put them straight there yet. The main reason why I'm not going to put them straight there, it's because I want when you're doing your stir fry, make sure your oil is hot. Yes, hot. That's what I mean by hot. So I'm not going to do that yet because I want to make sure that I actually prepare my other ingredients first before it actually goes there. Let's wash our broccolis and our pepper. Okay, I'm going to let my broccolis drain off in the sink while I prepare my peppers. So, with the peppers, remember I told you when we're doing the chicken, we didn't have to remove the seeds. We had to remove the seeds. I'm not removing any seeds on this. By the way, these small peppers are really, really nice. You can just go and snack on them like that. No worries, completely. You don't have to cook them. You can eat them raw as well. I sometimes normally just carry them like that and eat them for my snack at work. So I have some of this, and then I have carrot as well. And I snack on that, which is very healthy if you can say so. But I normally dip them with some hummus if I want to. But again, you can just have them like that. You don't have to dip them on anything, and it's still going to be amazing. Okay? So, I'm cutting them in round shape, and then the end, I'm just cutting the big chunk that is left. So, again, you have to be very careful here when you're doing this because you are working with a knife, and knives are always dangerous, so just be careful, guys. Okay, so that's our paper. We don't need much. And then we have our mixed tomatoes. What I'm going to do with our mixed tomatoes, I'm just going to wash them, and I'm not going to cut them. You're going to see why. It's going to be really, really nice and amazing. So, just making sure, don't need any more of those peppers. I'm going to put those ones on the side. So, I'm going to wash my tomatoes. Washing them in the same bowl as my broccoli. I'm going to let those tomatoes drain there. Putting my peppers here. So, this is just a matter of preparation. So, the good thing, you see, when you're preparing this meal, I told you guys, the chicken is what, when you're preparing, not only this meal, most of the meals that you prepare, make sure you start cooking the thing that cooks long. So our chicken cooks longer, so that's already cooking there. So now we're preparing our stir fry. You don't need to cook your stir fry for long. That's why we are now preparing our stir fry while our chicken and our potatoes are actually cooking. So when that is actually done, we will be ready to actually eat. Because you don't want to start doing, like, let's say your stir fry, and then you realize your stir fry is ready, your chicken is not ready, your potatoes are not ready. So by the time you eat them, it's not actually going to be like an amazing dish. You'll have to rewarm it, and it's not really advisable to rewarm stir fries. You always need to have it nice and warm, even maybe just warm, hot or warm. That's up to you how you want to do it. Okay, I'm having my French peas, and I'm actually cutting the tips. So that's like the French peas. So I'm cutting off that bit, and I'm left only with the middle bit. Yeah? So just make sure, because normally these two bits that I'm cutting off, they're like the stalk, so they won't taste nice at all. If somebody's chewing and then they end up with that sort of like that sharp thing in their mouth, they wouldn't like that. So that's why I normally end up and cut them all. Yes, it's time consuming, but again, we are trying to be as professional as we can when we're cooking, so that our families or whoever you're cooking for can be really, really excited and wants to come and eat again when you're cooking. So when you're telling them, oh, I'm cooking again, they don't say, yeah, that's okay. They actually say, you're cooking again, I'm coming. So make sure when you're cooking for people, just put your best. Just do your level best, but just make sure that those finishing touches are very important. Always think about those finishing touches, because let me tell you, you can do 2,000 good things, but just that one little thing that you're going to mess up on, people will always be remembering that, and they can even start giving you names with that one bad thing. Oh, you know the Scotch. Oh yeah, the Scotch who banged the chicken, or the Scotch who, people will always remember you with that funny thing you did. They always do that. That's how human beings are anyway. So if you're making meals for people, just make sure you do your level best and try and impress them as much as possible, so that they can come back and eat again. So if it's your family, just make sure they don't move out because they don't want to eat your meals. They're fed up of eating your meals because they're either not done properly or they're not cut properly. Okay, so they're not French peas. I've cut them in, they're not really small shapes, they're just okay shapes that can actually be cooked, because that's what we are trying to achieve. Okay, my French peas are also done, my carrots are done, broccoli done, and we are actually ready to go. This is where our red wine vinegar is going to be used. And so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn on my hob, if I can find my lighter. There you go. When my hob is getting ready there, what I'm going to do, guys, I am going to show you how far we are with our chicken. Whoa, it looks amazing. It's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. As you can see, I can't put it to lean. 1 second. If I can't put it to lean, we're gonna make the camera lean. Look how amazing that looks. Yeah, it's not done yet. It's actually on the process. Yeah, so let's put it back in there and make sure it actually cooks. Our potatoes are actually cooking so well there. Okay, that's definitely 200 degrees. So our chicken is definitely cooking. Oops, sorry guys. Our chicken is definitely cooking. Our stir fry, we are soon going to start actually cooking that. So if you bear with me 1 second. No, actually, I was thinking I'm using sesame oil for my stir fry, and you need 3, yes guys, 3 tablespoons on my stir fry. That's the amount of oil I'm using there. Make sure that is hot, and when I mean hot, it's smoking hot. You're going to see why. Okay, I'm just moving my broccoli and my tomatoes closer. So, yes, our bacon is soon going to go in there, and also our sausages. And also our sausages is going to go in there in a second. Meanwhile, let's concentrate on the main dish. Okay, so that is still not super hot. Almost, but not yet. I'm trying to find so I'm going to use my paprika. I'm going to use coriander leaf, and I am going to use Are you cuckoos on the head or something here? My black pepper.
You're cooking.
Tyler is trying to make fun of me. Okay, as you can see, yes, that's smoking hot. That's what I was talking about. I'm turning off the heat there. Tyler, I need that door closed because of the smoke alarm. Come on, chop, chop. Okay, I'm gonna put my onions. As you can hear that, that's exactly the effect that I need. Okay, let's get this cooking stick. Okay, so what goes in first is our spring onions. Then after the spring onions, I'm going to go with my tomatoes. Remember, my tomatoes are really nice and whole, yeah? I've not cut the tomatoes, and what's going to happen is the tomatoes are going, when they start cooking, they're going to actually open up on their own, and the lovely juices are going to really spread nicely in there, and that's exactly what we're trying to achieve. So the tomatoes are going to go in there. Woo. Be very careful. Remember, this is very, very hot. And immediately after that, I'm going to go with my carrots. I'm going to lift this up for you guys to see in a second, so don't worry about it. I hope you're able to see. If I put that aside like that, you are able to see what we have here. So far, we have our mixed tomatoes, we have our carrots, and we have our spring onions. We're using our sesame oil, which we've used 3 tablespoons in there. And we did turn up the heat, by the way. Remember, we had reduced the heat, so we need that heat really high. Let that cook for a few seconds. So when that is cooking, I am going to go ahead and start clearing this place. I'm going to start clearing this place because very soon we're going to need it. Because I want to put in my, in 8 minutes I need to remove that chicken, and I'm going to lay my bacon. Squeeze a little bit of lemon in there, put it back inside, and just let it cook for the rest of the few minutes left. Don't forget, you have your potatoes as well cooking in there. I'm just checking my heat. And guys, this is what we have so far. Hope you're able to, actually, this is what I'm going to do. There you go. So as you can see there, we have our tomatoes. We have carrots. So tomato, carrots, and you can see the spring onions in there as well. So let's go ahead and just leave that to cook for a few more minutes again, and then we can continue. Oh, sorry guys. That's much better. Okay, so when that is still cooking, I'm going to go ahead and add my French peas in there. Add a little bit of French peas to give it that lovely greeny color. All this is actually cooking really nicely. And our tomatoes at this time are actually bursting. And that was what we really wanted to achieve. We wanted those tomatoes to actually burst off when we are cooking, so that the juices can actually be succulent and pour off, because that's what we need. If you cut them, then the juices are going to, when you're cooking them immediately, the juices are going to spread immediately. But we want this to actually spread as it is cooking. That's the whole idea of actually using the tomatoes like that. So far here we have our tomatoes, carrots, and then we have our French peas. Next, I'm going to add my pepper. got my mixed pepper. So I have my red, yellow, and green pepper. And that's really cooking really nicely. My sausages are going to go in soon. And on my end, on my pan at the end, I'm turning it on. And on there, I'm gonna use some walnut oil. Just a tablespoon of walnut oil. And what I'm going to do, my mushrooms are going to go in there. So we have our lovely colors going in here. Our mushroom has already started cooking there on the side, and you will see what I'm going to do. I'm going to mix them together at a certain point. You don't have to, but if you wish to, you can actually separate them the way I've separated them, or you can just cook them together. But the main reason why I like cooking the mushrooms there on the side, because I like the mushrooms really nice and crunchy. But by the time all my other ingredients have cooked there, because I'm putting one ingredient at a time, and so the cooking of all the other ingredients is not taking as long as. But with my mushrooms, because I don't want them to overcook, I want them nice and crunchy, that's why I'm preparing them separately, and I can add them onto there, or I can just serve them on the side. And if anybody wants to have some mushroom, they can go ahead and add the mushroom there. So all we have there is just mushroom and a little bit of oil. That's all you need, and you will still have that effect, because remember, mushroom always have some water in it. It doesn't need any water. You don't add any water in mushroom when you're cooking, because when the mushroom cooks, when you put it in, it's just going to be really nice and dry, and then when it starts cooking, it's going to start oozing off the waters in it. And then with time, so that's when it starts oozing the water, that's when I always remove it. But if you want them to cook longer, you can let the water ooze off of the mushroom, and then the water is going to be dissolved, so it's going to be dry again. So when you see too much water on the mushroom, don't be like, whoa, let me drain that off. Don't drain that off, because you're draining off the nutrients that are actually coming from the mushroom. So guys, what I'm going to do next now in here, I'm going to start adding my spices, and then I'm going to add my broccoli. So I'm going to start with my coriander leaf. You can use fresh coriander, but when you're using fresh coriander, you don't have to put coriander now. You will have to put coriander at the end if you're using fresh coriander. Okay, I'm using black pepper, so you need 1 teaspoon of coriander, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and then you need a tablespoon and a half of your paprika. Mix that together. Yeah, you're going to lose some, but that's okay. And now my broccolis are going to go in. It looks really nice and amazing. Looks really nice and scrumptious. Yeah, mix that together. Make sure your mushrooms are actually mixed with that succulent, lovely juice from your cherry tomatoes. And we're going to let that cook for a few minutes. Don't cover it, please. Just cook it and let it be the way it is, yeah? So let's leave that to cook for a few minutes. Before I actually leave it, I'm going to drop the camera down again, and then you guys can be able to see what we are actually preparing. So, as you can see, guys, our lovely vegetables are looking really amazing. So we have our broccoli, we have French peas, we have carrots, we have spring onions, we have mixed peppers, and we have mixed cherry tomatoes. Our oil we've used today is sesame oil. That's what we've used here. And I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt, because I've already used my paprika, my coriander leaves, and I've used my black pepper sauce. So that's what, my black pepper spice. That's what I've used there. So I'm just going to mix this up again, and I'm going to let it cook. While that is cooking, what I'm going to do next, we're going to remove our chicken, and we're going to go ahead and put our bacon. Before I do that, I'm just going to get a broom and sweep off some of my vegetables that have gone on the floor because I'm stepping on them. I'm just going to sweep them and put them on one side. I'm going to do the cleaning later. I'm just moving them so that the cleaning is not difficult. Because remember, I cook, there is somebody else whose job is to clean. So let's not make it difficult for the person who's cleaning. And we're just making sure that place is at least conducible. I need to start having my cocktail now. Gonna start doing that in a bit. Bear with me. Oh, let me show you guys how the mushrooms are looking as well. The mushrooms are looking really nice and amazing. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, as you can see, hope you're able to see this. Oh, that light is killing my eyes. It's also killing your eyes, guys. 1 second. And there you go, guys. There are the mushrooms. They're actually cooking really nice and well. They're having sort of like a dark color effect there, which is really good. Keep on mixing your broccoli, your the stir fry that you're preparing here. That's okay. Your mushrooms are going to cook, so don't worry so much about it. Let's leave those two to cook there peacefully, and let's go ahead and sort out our chicken. Ooh, sorry. Oh, the smell that's coming out of the chicken is amazing. I've put a plate there, guys, because I don't want that hot stuff on my surface. That's why I've put the plate there. Okay, so what I'm going to do next, it looks really amazing. I like doing that. So I'm putting back those juices back there. As you can see, there's lots of nice juices on our chicken. Hope you're able to see this. I'm using the same spoon because all those are vegetables, so it's not a biggie. You don't have any food poisoning or anything of that sort because they're all vegetables and it's okay. Let's move it back that way a little bit. That's better. You can see that that's how the chicken looks. It looks really nice, succulent and juicy. And all our juices are also there from our vegetable. So it's not really dry. It's really nice and so it's hot. You're hungry. Have you had your corn?
Yeah.
Can you have a banana when you're waiting? The chicken is going to be ready in a few more minutes. How do you call it? The vegetables are also ready in about 5 minutes, but the chicken is going to need a little bit longer than 5 minutes. And then it's going to be ready to go. So if you eat a banana now, you should be fine. Get your lemon, and you need to squeeze that lemon on your chicken, right? Remember, we need that flavor, not only the anchovies flavor on our chicken.
And we're gonna have an orange.
Yeah, Style having an orange. Gonna be hungry, can't wait. Watch it, Tyler. Watch your hand. This is very hot.
And the yellow orange.
So, what we need, get your bacon, and I'm going to lay some of my bacon down there around my chicken. Yeah. And I'm just ripping that off, and this is going on the chicken. Looks
On
amazing.
the chicken.
You're going to see how it's going to cook really nicely when we are actually removing this, because bacon doesn't take too long to actually cook. So basically we are wrapping it around with bacon. Just the whole idea is just trying to add as much flavor on our chicken as possible. That's why I'm adding the bacon there. Don't forget your vegetables, which look done. So let's put back our chicken in the oven. Yeah. So now, this is where the amazing part comes. You know, you're wondering, when are we using our red wine vinegar? Now, this is when I'm going to use my red wine vinegar. Now, when your vegetables are almost done, because they're almost done, as you can see. Yeah? All our cherry tomatoes are now, the juices have gone there and they look really, really amazing. So I'm going to use my red wine vinegar, and you need a few sprinkles of that. On both our mushrooms. Woo. There you go. Hope you're able to see that. On both our mushrooms and on our, yeah. Hey, I'm losing some of them. We can't afford to lose any. Mix that up on your sorry, how do you call this again? On your vegetable. And the red wine vinegar is going to bring some lovely, sort of like a bitter taste, but it's also a sweet taste, because remember, we have our cherry tomatoes there. We have our nice crunchy carrots in there, so it's going to be okay. So when you're actually eating it, pardon me, and it's in your mouth, it's actually going to taste really nice and amazing. Yeah? Our vegetables are done. Moving my mushrooms there. I want my mushrooms to cook a little bit longer than that, because as you can see, they've actually turned into that lovely brownish color we always love. But I just want it to cook a little bit longer, so that it can actually cook inside, but not as much, because I want it really nice and crunchy. So when that is actually cooking, what I'm going to do, I am going to bring my, how do you call them again? The serving stuff. And I'm going to open my cocktail. And as we wait for our chicken, we can actually have a little bit of a chat, because we've actually finished preparing our vegetables. So if you bear with me for a second, please. Yes, please. Ice cubes. Okay, we're back here, guys. Mushrooms are definitely done. Oh, they look amazing. They taste amazing as well. There is all mushrooms. They are nice. They're very nice. Tonia's bought for me some ice. Oh, I can't open this. I'm scared. Will it burst off?
Just in case. I'm just thinking out aerodynamics.
I'm scared to open this. Better to open. Hold it. I'm going to ask for the professionals to open it and bring it back to
I'll
me.
just go outside.
Don't do it on your face.
No, I'll just point it up there. That's all.
No, don't do it. Go and give it to him to do it for you. Okay, my drink is coming, so that is getting ready. So let's go ahead and serve our vegetable. I'm getting really excited about this because it looks really nice and amazing. Today I have to actually remember to take pictures because last time I cooked and then I forgot to take pictures, which wasn't really nice because I need to always update the page with the lovely pictures of the lovely meals you actually prepare so that we can get more views, isn't it? So that people cannot take us for granted, so that people can definitely know we actually exist. So I have to always remember to take pictures. So you guys will bear with me when it comes to taking pictures. So here we go. Our vegetables. Don't tell me you don't like that, 'cause it looks really, really amazing. So what we're going to do next, just like in the movies, going to get some, the drink is here. Before we actually do this part, let's deal with the drink first. Sorry guys. We're getting there. Remember I told you guys we're going to get that camera. It's called a sensor camera. When I move this way, it follows me, and when I lift the plate up, it follows the plate. So you wouldn't see me doing this, moving the camera up and down. It's gonna be nice and easy. But for now, let's just work with what we have, right? So I was showing you guys my cocktail. So this is what we're having today. As you can see, ooh, we can see that. Oh, come on, light. The light is really annoying me now. There you go. We have our pomade cocktail. And it just has, in simple time, it has pomegranate or pomegranate. I can't pronounce it. I'm thinking of how to pronounce that word. It's that lovely fruit that looks like red and pome something, yeah? Just know it's pome something. I'm going to write it down so that you can be able to pronounce it the way you want to pronounce it. Because I'm not going to pronounce it. I can't pronounce it, right? So we're going to have that. You need some ice. It's pomegranate with some vodka. That's all that's there. I don't know why it's a cocktail, but that's all that's there. So I'm gonna have some ice on it. Hi, Sam. Ooh. That looks amazing, isn't it? You can't say no to that, yeah? Gonna top it up again. And actually tastes really nice. Yeah, it actually tastes really nice. You can just hear a little bit of the alcohol, the vodka slightly at the background, which is okay because you don't want it to be like woo, overpowering. And we're going to have this with our meal tonight, so we need it to actually taste nice and for us to actually be able to eat it. That's the most important thing. So we have our lovely cocktail here, and let me tell you guys a secret, yeah, because it's fizzy. If you're opening champagne, any fizzy drink, basically fizzy, what I mean by fizzy is those bubbly stuff. Ooh, those bubbly stuff on the drink. As you can see, if I shake it a bit like that, you can see the bubbly stuff, the bubbles going around there. So if you want, you've opened your bottle of fizzy drink or a fizzy champagne or whatever you want to call it. This is a secret. There's a science about it, and I don't know what's the science about it, but this is what I normally do. Most of the time, the corkscrew is really too big for it to go back in there because it has expanded, because normally they try and contrast for it to be actually there to avoid that gas from coming out. So let's imagine I've opened this bottle and I'm not going to finish it. Not that I'm not going to finish it. I'm definitely going to finish it. But let's imagine I'm not going to finish this. I want another glass tomorrow. So what I'm going to do, you take your normal teaspoon, just put it in there, and you can have this drink tomorrow and it's still going to be bubbling. There is something to do with lead, steel, blah blah blah, loads of those calculations somebody did then somewhere and realized this can actually stop those bubbles from evaporating. So just a bare spoon can be able to stop those bubbles from evaporating. Or if you really fancy, you can get one of those corkscrew replacer. It's some metal thing that you can just put it there and you cover that, and you can have this at least for 2 days before the fizz actually disappears from it. So for now, that's a secret. Homemade, everybody has a teaspoon, isn't it? Just put the teaspoon in there and store it wherever you want it. In the fridge, wherever you want it. And your drink is still going to be nice and bubbly at the end of the day. So there you go. One secret from Scotch Kitchen. Try that at home and thank me later. Okay? So, let's check on our potatoes. Because we don't want to forget those ones, isn't it? Oh, they actually look amazing. Woo. Oh, it's heavy. Very heavy. That's why I had to move it and put it here first and then making a bit of space, because this is heavy and it is hot. So I'm going to bring it closer for you guys to see. I'm going to lean that down a little bit so that it can be easier for me to actually lift it up for you guys to be able to see. I am trying to find another plate for me to put it for you guys to see. Right. Hey. Way. Come on, light. Just don't disappoint here. I need to find a way of understanding my light. So I need a light course. Oh, come on, light. There you go. Guys, got it. There you go, guys. As you can see, our potatoes are looking amazing. That's what I can say. Amazing. But because we need another 5 minutes for our chicken, I'm going to put that back in the oven for the few minutes. And then, ooh, some of the flavor has poured there. I'm going to clean that in a second. I'm going to put that back in the oven for that to cook for the few minutes that's left. And then we're going to lay everything here for you guys to be able to see. So if you just bear with me 1 second, I'm going to open my oven again because it's not long. The chicken is actually almost done. Oh. Because the bacon, you can tell, because the bacon doesn't take really long to actually cook. So if you look in there, you're going to see the bacon looking really nice and amazing. You can see the bacon looking really nice and amazing, so it's just ready to go. So in a few minutes, we're going to be ready to actually show off our meal. We're going to be ready to show off our meal. Ooh, you know that? That is telling me, that is just telling me that, hello, the chicken should be done by now. Yes, I'm going to remove that. So when I'm still waiting for my chicken to actually be 100% and for me to actually remove it from there, I am going to do a quick clearance here and set it up for you guys to be able to see our end results, because we've been really super good today. We've been able to prepare our chicken, which is amazing. We've been able to prepare our chicken, our stir fry and our mushroom all in a one, which is really good. So at the same time, we'll be looking at the how do you call this, the light, to make sure we have the best amazing way for you guys to be able to see. So we're getting there, guys. We're definitely getting there. 1 year down the line, we are still getting there. We are still understanding ourselves, how we can be able to make ourselves even more amazing. So what I'm doing now, I'm just organizing this place so that I can, if I put it that way or this way, I think I should just put it this way. So we have our mushroom. Yeah. And then we're going to have our chicken and potato there. I don't think I'm going to need this because the chicken and potato is hot. So if you bear with me 1 second, I'm going to get my other wooden table mat so I can put them here, and we can show off our chicken and we can also show off our potatoes. And it's going to be actually really done, which is amazing, because you had the alarm telling us we are definitely done, which is great. So just bear with me 1 second again, please. A few more minutes. I'm serving. The main people in the house are hungry today. They're asking me, how many more minutes? How many more minutes? It's done. Oh. Okay, guys. Tonio, be careful behind the how do you call it?
It's on.
Yes, it is definitely on. Okay, guys. So what I'm going to do, I'm moving those two aside because I want to show you guys something. Ooh. We're going to move the camera, so don't worry, guys. We're going to definitely move the camera for you guys to be able to see our lovely chicken. But at the moment, the main reason why I've done that, I want to lower this down when I'm moving the bacon for you guys to be able to actually see. Tonio, get me a plate like this, please. Because I want you guys to be able to see. Before I actually remove the bacon, let me show you guys how it actually looks. I think that is a perfect view. And I don't have to keep on moving the camera and blah, blah, blahs. So as you can see, yeah, our chicken is definitely done. And our vegetables are also done. So what I'm going to do now, I am going to move my bacon So I'm gonna move my bacon because I don't need my bacon there anymore. And my bacon is going to go here. So again, the main reason why I'm moving my bacon is if you love a little bit of bacon when you're serving your meal, you can go ahead and have your bacon. So even though that our how do you call it, our mixed vegetables, you can see it here, yeah, it's not that dry because we already have our lovely juices here from our chicken. So that's what I'm just doing. I'm moving all my bacon and I'm gonna put my bacon here, and it's going to be self-service. So you can serve your bacon when you want to. And as you can see on our chicken, as you can see on our chicken, it has the lovely juices. As you can see there, all the lovely juices are there. So the chicken is not dry at all because of all those lovely juices that you can see. Before I poke that chicken, because I'm about to poke it, and what I'm going to do, so I'm putting my bacon there for you guys to be able to see. So we have our mushrooms, our bacon, our mixed vegetables, and I'm going to put our potatoes here. And then we're going to go ahead. I move the camera for you guys to see the whole meal, and then after that I can show you our chicken. I have to take the pictures. Remember, guys, you have to remind me that. Go take pictures. We need the pictures. Yeah, there you go. Woo. Yeah, okay. Let's get our other main stuff. Whoa. Whoa, potatoes. Our potatoes, you can still hear them sizzling away, which is amazing. That's me putting the how do you call it again? That's me putting back how do you call it? The sausages for the boys. So whatever time they want to eat the sausages are going to be ready. So before I turn the camera around, this is what I normally like doing. I have my walnut oil here, and I have my olive oil, chili infused olive oil. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take my chili infused olive oil and I'm going to sprinkle it on my vegetables, and I am sprinkling it on my mushrooms. That's all. That's all, and we are all ready to go. So guys, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn the camera around for you guys to be able to see what we've actually prepared today. And I hope you've actually enjoyed this. I know the video was very, very long, but again, I said earlier, the main reason why our video is going to be long today is because we are preparing our chicken. And our chicken has taken definitely a long time because it takes about an hour to 52 to an hour for the chicken to actually get ready. What I'm trying to do now, I'm trying to move the juices that are already on our lovely oven tray onto our chicken. Woo, okay, that's me. Sorry guys, I'm just oohing because it looks really nice and amazing. Okay, let me now move. Doesn't the bacon make the chicken salty? No, it doesn't make the chicken salty at all. It just helps with making the chicken moist. Because if you look at my bacon, let me show you, Joy. If you look at my bacon is not dry at all. If you leave this bacon on the chicken longer than expected, that's why we decided to put the bacon almost 10 minutes before we finally remove it. If you put the bacon when you're putting the chicken, yes, it's going to, because the bacon is going to cook and become really, really dry and crispy, so it's going to make the chicken dry. It depends what time you decide to put your bacon. If you put it the beginning, it's going to dry up and make your chicken dry, but if you put it at the end, actually, it's not going to make your chicken dry. So that is why you can see our bacon is still nice and juicy, and our chicken as well is still nice and juicy. That's why. Before I turn the camera, let me just do something. I need to turn the chicken thing on this side like this, because it doesn't look like chicken, it looks like some funny bird. For you guys to be able to see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn around our lovely meal today for you guys to be able to see what we've prepared, and then I'm going to go ahead and serve my boys because they're really super hungry. So if you bear with me 1 second, I'll remove the camera off the hook and I'm going to show you guys what we've done. It looks really amazing. Yes guys, I hope it actually tastes as amazing as the way it looks. Okay, so let's start at the farthest end. So here we have our creamy, I just call them creamy potatoes, because what we have here, we have single cream, we have some rosemary leaves, we have paprika, we have cheddar cheese, and also we have some rosemary. I said rosemary and mint. So we have mint, rosemary, onions, single cream, and cheese. Just a sprinkle of salt on here. And then the next one is our lovely chicken, where we've used our butter sauce, our butter chicken sauce, and we had prepared our vegetable, which was onions and mixed peppers, put it there on the side and just cooked with it. As you can see, you can be able to see some of those lovely vegetables, and you're also able to see how juicy your chicken looks because of the way we've actually cooked it today. We've opened it wide and just put it in the oven and let it cook with the juices. We've sprinkled a little bit of lemon, so half a lemon, and we had already spread some bacon on it 10 minutes before we actually served it. That's why it still looks really nice and juicy. So that's our chicken. As you can see guys, it's cooked really well and it looks really amazing. Hope it tastes amazing. And you can see our vegetables as well all around it. Okay, so the farthest end again, or this other end, you can see we have, you can see there we have our stir-fried vegetable that consists of French peas, carrots, broccoli, mixed peppers, spring onions, and then we cooked our vegetable with sesame oil, and lastly we sprinkled it with some garlic olive oil infused with chili, and that's what we have here. The bacon that we had spread on our chicken to cook is also here, so if anybody wants to have a bit of bacon, they can have a bit of bacon. So the little spices you can see on our bacon is actually from our chicken. That's why it looks amazing. Last but not least, we have our mushrooms, which we've just cooked. So we just put a little bit of, again, sesame oil and a little bit of salt, and just let it cook with our mushrooms. And that's how our mushrooms look like. And there you go, just moving away from the light for you guys to be able to see our mushrooms. So guys, that's what we've prepared today. So I am just going to be quiet for a moment for you guys to actually enjoy the pictures of what we've just prepared tonight. Okay, so I hope you're able to follow through the video and you're able to just look through and see the simple guide that we've used. Our meal looks really amazing, even though it looks amazing and complicated. If you are able to follow through the video today, you would realize it's so easy to actually prepare this meal that we've actually done today. So guys, what can I say again? happy anniversary to Scotch Kitchen. Happy anniversary to you and me. And I can say it's because of you, that's why it has taken us a whole year to be here. Keep on inviting those lovely people onto our page. Again, I said we are at 1,700 amazing members, so that's really, really great. Keep on inviting them into our page, and I hope you're learning as much as I do every day when I actually do a live video, or if I'm just sending you guys pictures. For the past year, if you've done anything or if you've cooked any meal with any of our lovely recipe or our guide, kindly please send me that picture wherever way you want to send it to me, and I will upload it on the page so that everybody can be able to see what you've actually learned. Don't worry about it, because some people are a bit scared of me putting their faces there. I'm not going to put your face. All I need is just that lovely picture, because I'm sure you were so proud of yourself and you ended up taking a picture of that meal that you prepare. So definitely let's share those pictures with each and every person so that people can get even more encouraged. That said, I think that's it for today. Want to thank you again, guys, for the lovely year that you've been with Scotch Kitchen. I'm so proud and I'm so happy that we are getting better and we are getting more professional. Even though we are still learning how to use our light, we're going to get there as the time goes. So guys, it's time for me to say bye-bye. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Keep on subscribing on our YouTube page. Keep on subscribing on our Facebook page. We are also now on Instagram, but you know, our Scotch Kitchen, we are on Blowing Sisters. That is part of me. That's the name I'm using for my Instagram. And I'm also doing the lovely blog on WordPress, so I hope you are able to read those because I keep on uploading them on the page, so you can follow that up as well and listen to my little stories about how everything is happening in my world. That said, thank you very much and do have a lovely week. I hope I'm going to do another video in the course of the week. If not, we'll definitely try and do one during the weekend. So guys, I hope you have a lovely week and I hope you've enjoyed today's cooking. All I can say is bye-bye and have a lovely week. Bye guys.